Jess, thank you so much for doing this interview. If you can kind of start me out, I mean, the tax season starts January 23rd, correct?
Right. This year, January 23rd is the start of the tax filing season. With the tax deadline this year is going to be April 18th. And the benefit right now, between now and the 23rd, is you can actually start preparing your taxes. Most people qualify for free file and they can start inputting all of their information right now and just hit send on the 23rd.
And what are some things they should know about the filing season this year that could be different from last year or previous years?
Well, the biggest issue or the biggest impact that I think most taxpayers are going to feel is a slightly less in their tax refund, and that's because a lot of the pandemic-related tax relief, the advanced child tax credit, the child tax credit, the stimulus payments, all of those things have all gone away, and we're now back to just regular old tax season. So it may be a little bit less in the tax refund this year.
And as far as scammers are always out during tax season and outside tax season, but what do filers need to realize about the IRS, how they will contact you, how they won't contact you?
Well, it's tax season now, but it's always scam season. And scam season means they know that these criminals know that you've got taxes on the brain. You're thinking of either filing, you're thinking of where's your refund, or is your return being processed properly? And so you're thinking of taxes, they know you are. And so they may come at you pretending to be an IRS agent, IRS employee, and trying to get your personal information. Because they're after two things: your money, first and foremost, but also your personal information, which is like currency to them. So you have to be very, very careful on how you respond to everything from picking up your phone, text messages, social media, direct messages, emails, because they use every avenue they can to approach you and to look like a legitimate contact from the IRS. Sometimes they'll put up websites that are an exact replica of the IRS website. And the way you can protect yourself is first off, the IRS may contact you directly. You may, it's super rare, very rare, but you may get a call out of the blue from somebody who says they're an IRS agent. Possible, but rare. The three things they're never going to do. Let me do that again. So the IRS may contact you. It's very rare, but if the IRS does contact you, they're never going to do any of these three things. They're never going to threaten you. They're never going to ask for immediate payment, and they're never going to say you have to pay by this particular payment method. So when you get a call, or let's say you get a direct message, the IRS may call you, like I said, but the IRS will never send you an email, an unsolicited email. The IRS does not use social media for contacting taxpayers. And most of the time, it's going to be a letter that you get. And for those who are not very responsive, it may be multiple letters that you get. And most of those people know that we would like to talk to them, and they're just kind of burying their head in the sand. But for other people, they may say, well, hey, this looks legitimate, or this sounds legitimate. And the first thing is the threat. And the threat is, no matter what you've seen in movies, no matter what other people have told you, if an IRS employee threatens you, they're in big, big trouble. They're going to lose their job. They may be facing prosecution otherwise. It's a really bad thing. Nobody from the IRS is going to threaten you. So if somebody says they're from the IRS and they're going to take away your driver's license, or they're going to foreclose on your home, or they're going to send the local police to arrest you, that's a lie. And just, law enforcement 101, you don't call people and tell them that they're about to be arrested. So, but you're panicked. Your caller ID says it's the IRS calling. This person sounds official. They gave you a badge number, even though it's fake. So you start to panic. And then the next thing they're going to do that the IRS is never going to do is say, all right, why don't you get this heavy burden off of you and pay us right now? And by right now, I mean, I'm going to stay on the phone with you while you go to the bank and withdraw cash, or while you go to your local store and get a gift card. And that's where they want to make sure you don't hang up, because when you do hang up, the first thing you're going to do is tell somebody or call the IRS. And that stops the panicking from the threat. So they don't want to lose that connection of you being panicked. But if they do, make sure that, just hang up. Don't worry about it. They can call back and threaten all they want. If it's not legitimate, you have nothing to worry about. And then finally, they're going to say you have to pay by this particular payment method. In the past, it was a particular credit card, a debit card, and now it's gift cards. And so you're hearing it right from the horse's mouth here. The IRS does not accept iTunes or any other sort of gift cards for payment of taxes. You can pay any way you want. Cash at 7-Eleven, which is a payment office for a payment acceptor for us. You can pay by check, you can pay online, you can pay with credit card, direct debit, all sorts of ways you pick. We're never going to tell you you have to pay by a particular method, and especially not going to tell you you have to pay with gift cards. So be aware, 3 red flags that you'll never ever get from the IRS. Never going to threaten. We're never going to tell you you have to pay right away. And we're never going to tell you that you have to pay by a particular payment method. And the right away part is important because you as a taxpayer have lots of rights and you need to take full advantage of them. And one of them is, if the IRS is coming knocking at your door saying, hey, you owe money, you have absolutely all the right in the world to say, for what? Show me where, show me how. And we have to take the time, which is your right and our duty, to let you know this is what you owe and why you owe it. And these scammers don't do that. They just say, hey, I don't know why you owe it, but we're going to send the local police department or the sheriff's office to your door. They're around the corner right now. Are you going to pay or not? You panic, you pay, and in some cases even give them your personal information, your family's personal information, and you've just lost twice as much.
Perfect. And the one question I have, Bitcoin scammers are out there. Does the IRS accept payment via Bitcoin or no?
No, the IRS does not accept payment via Bitcoin.
Okay. Because yeah, they definitely use the gift cards, but I have a few people recently who lost in Bitcoin ATM payments. And so I just want to make sure that's another red flag if they ask for Bitcoin ATM payments then. And then covered all the scams. As far as anyone who's still waiting for the return to be processed or the refund, they should still file for this tax season, correct?
Yes, if you're one of the people that is still waiting for your return to be processed, understand that everything from tax year 21 last year has been processed that does not have an issue either with identity theft or fraud or with an error correction. We have those issues pop up. They have to physically be pulled out. We have to have a human put eyes on it and investigate to protect you, to protect the tax system so that we're not getting scammed. But everybody else who has submitted a return without any issues, their return has been processed. For those who are still waiting, please go right ahead and file now. Your return that's being held up has nothing to do with you not filing your return now. So by all means, take advantage of it.
Right. And COVID was a rough couple years for the IRS with staffing and backlog and just the offices being closed. But now it seems like you've hired, I read, at least 4,000 new employees with the phone. So you're up and running, trying to get back to full speed again.
Well, the IRS has used some of the money that has been allocated towards us for customer service. And the main issue that we've had is just attrition, people who have retired, people who have left and not being able to replace them because of a static budget. But now with those additional funds, we have hired some customer service representatives that will help you on the phone. It's still not 100% of where we need to be. We're still hiring and training, bringing people up to speed, but it's going to be a lengthy process, and we're hopeful that we can provide the type of service that the American taxpayer deserves. And in some cases, we weren't able to provide because there weren't the resources available.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, make sure that you check out irs.gov for all of your questions. A lot of people would prefer to talk to somebody. That's understandable, but we have an interactive tax assistant. We've got frequently asked questions. We all sorts of tools and sections on the website in as plain English as you can get with taxes. It's not mumbo jumbo. We try to make it so that it's very understandable, and lots of different automated resources like the IRS to Go app that you can put on your phone. Everybody likes to check when the refund's coming. Totally get it, but it's only updated once a day. No need to call. Just look at your app, and it'll tell you exactly where it is, your refund, exactly where your refund is in the process, and you can take advantage of that on your phone, on your computer. But it doesn't do any good if you don't use it. So please visit irs.gov or download the app IRS to Go.